Hey everybody, welcome to this special edition of The Daily from sunny Southern California, here with Greg Lawless.
Not so sunny.
I'm Nick Forshaw. We're in LA for MLS Cup, drawing closer every day. It's on Saturday, the LA Galaxy and the Houston Dynamo, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and TSN up in Canada. Greg, we'll get to that, but the big news on Thursday, Chris Wondolowski from the San Jose Earthquakes, named the 2012 Volkswagen MVP, ran away with the voting. Beat Thierry Henry and Graham Zusi, the other two finalists, but a no-brainer for Chris Wondo to win this week.
Absolutely. I mean, 27 goals on the year, and obviously leading the Supporters' Shield, winning San Jose Earthquakes so far in this one, but I think there's some interesting stuff that comes out of voting. Everyone knew that Wondolowski was going to end up winning this. All the voting went that way. There's some stuff that came out on the other players in their voting. The main one that stuck out to me was that Thierry Henry got no votes from the clubs. Now that means it's sort of GMs and technical directors and how they voted. Nobody voted for Thierry Henry. Some of the players did. Obviously, they don't want to have to face a guy like them, but that was fascinating to me. But Chris Wondolowski, very well deserved in this one. And, you know, first Earthquakes player to ever win it.
Yeah,
so that's amazing thinking their history.
First one in San Jose history. Chris Wondolowski, you mentioned the voting. More than 90% of the votes from the media and those club folks. You're talking about head coaches and technical directors. Henry second, Graham Zusi third. So a very impressive season for Chris Wondolowski, also the first American to win the award since 2009, and just the second since 2005 to sort of break through those international ranks. An impressive season for Chris Wondolowski. It's been a busy week, all week in awards. You can log on to MLSsoccer.com to look back at all the winners. Well, late November is also a time for cuts. A lot of teams parting with very good players, perhaps none bigger on Wednesday than Kevin Hartman, maybe the best goalkeeper in league history. His agent, Ron Waxman, tweeting out that he will not be returning to FC Dallas. Greg, it's not confirmed by the club, but we talked to Kevin Hartman on Extra Time Radio, and he said they still had to work out a contract. It looks like they're not going to be able to do it.
No, it doesn't. And obviously, this is a great veteran who's been around for a long time and had great success in LA, in Kansas City, and then with Dallas. And I think that this is also a shift in Dallas that we're seeing, a shift younger, which is interesting because they also let go of some of their really young players that I think they thought weren't progressing the way they wanted to. But don't forget, Daniel Hernandez, he also ended up retiring. So this is going to be a shift in Dallas to maybe a younger team.
How much do you think Kevin Hartman has left in the tank? Will he want to switch to another team?
Look, I think he will. I think you play as long as you can. As long as someone's willing to pay you to play, you go out and you do it. So you look at a guy like Casey Keller and what he did for very many years. Brad Friedel, what he has done over in the EPL. Marcus Hahnemann coming back and playing. Hartman still has a couple of years in him, and I think there is a club out there that would say, we want a veteran presence like that on our side.
Well, another very good goalkeeper out there on the market, that's Will Hesmer, who was really an institution for the Columbus Crew for a long time. He was let go on Wednesday. Annie Gruenbaum, now the de facto #1 for Columbus. And one other player here on the list, Opara from the San Jose Earthquakes.
Which is amazing when you think about the potential we all saw in him a couple of years ago when he first came into the league. He suffered with some injuries. That was a problem for them, but I understand why they're making this move. They think their backline is just fine the way it is. Now, all of these players, let's not forget, will most likely go into the re-entry process. Stage 1 is next Friday, December 7th. Stage 2 is December 14th, the week after that. So these sort of veteran players who are getting released will have this option to go to other clubs.
Two other names I want to mention are Miro Corrales, the last MLS original. He was waived by the San Jose Earthquakes, but he's expected to re-sign for 2013 as a player coach. And hats off to Josh Wolf, who has retired from DC United. He's going to be an assistant coach with the club next season. Well, the reason we're here, MLS Cup looming closer. It's on Saturday, the LA Galaxy and the Houston Dynamo, but today is the big press conference for David Beckham, and believe me, these can be sort of maddening. This is going to be his last one.
Circus is the word that comes to mind.
This will be his last one before, I would assume, a post-game press conference, and then we really don't know what's going to happen next week when he moves on from the LA Galaxy. So we'll cruise down to the Home Depot Center today, and I expect a flock of curious reporters.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, actually, to see it and hear what Beckham has to say going into this game. Obviously, he's been kind of quiet the last couple of days. The Galaxy actually took Wednesday off, so there was nothing there. Tuesday's training was closed, so they've been trying to keep him out of it a little bit. Now everyone starts to hear what David Beckham's thinking going into this game. Knowing Beckham, he's a competitor. What he's going to be talking about, I imagine, is the game itself. That's what he's going to be worried about. How does he approach this match? Obviously, the questions are going to come fast and furious about, well, where are you going? What are you going to do? What's this all about? And he's going to continue to bring it back to the match, which is what he should do.
Really the end of an era. It's been sort of crazy here at the Home Depot Center for years. Every time Beckham has one of these big press conferences, only a few more days left of his era here at the HTC.
Yeah, and one of the things about this era that I think people aren't thinking about is that when he arrived in MLS, the league and the club, they didn't really know how to deal with a player of this stature. Now they do. Now they understand what it takes from a press release standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, all of that, so that the league has grown up because Beckham has arrived in this way.
Another bit of news here. The Houston Dynamo are expected to work out for the first time in LA. They're in this game too. They'll work out on Friday for the first time. And really quickly here, a trivia question for all those fans out there. We've seen the MLS Cup go to extra time in the past. Maybe we'll see it on Saturday. How many times has it actually gone to extra time? 2, 4, 7, or 10? You can tweet your answers to the MLS Insider.